welcome to Fog Eraser. This is one of my puzzles. I'm going to just quickly go over my solve of the puzzle. But first, the rules. In this puzzle, normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9 in every column, every row, and every 3x3 box. In this puzzle, there are eraser cells. I'll label them as red. You have to find the eraser cells. The eraser cells have a value of 0. So wherever they are, they'll have a digit in them, let's say a 5. However, the value of that eraser cell will be considered 0. There is one eraser cell in every row, column, and box. And there are also no duplicate digits in that eraser cell. So if this eraser cell is a 5, and you determine this is an eraser cell, this eraser cell cannot be a 5. It may be a 4. But in either case, the value of the eraser cell is 0. The values apply to the rest of the rule set. One of them is the thermometers. Values along the thermometer must increase. So if this is a 4, the values after it has to be greater than 4. That's if this is the value of 4. The values along a V clue, like here, these values sum up to 5. So whatever value of this plus this sum to 5. There are also killer cages. You can kind of see the edge of one here. Values in the killer cage must sum up to the total given on the cage, which you'll see later when the fog gets revealed. However, unlike other kind of killer cages, there are no duplicate values in cages. However, there may be duplicate digits because we're dealing with values. So there may be duplicate digits in a cage, if wherever this cage goes, but there are no duplicate values in a cage. There are also green German whispers, and along a green line, let's say there's a green line here. Oh, not there, but here. The values along a green line must have a difference of at least 5 between them. So if this is let's say a 4, then this digit must be a 9. It has to have at least 5 away. But if this is a 1, then this digit could be 6, 7, 8, or 9 because it's 5 away from 1. So we have, and these are deal with values also. And on top of all that, we have fog. So initially most of the grid is covered in this dark gray fog. And as you enter correct digits, fog will dynamically disappear, revealing more of the puzzle. So you shouldn't need to guess, and guessing might get you the correct answer, but it's no fun. So try not to guess and try to deduce the correct digits. And then from there, the fog will reveal the rest of the puzzle. So I left a link to the puzzle in the description, so you can try that out. And now I'm going to show you my solve of Fog Eraser. So, beginning of the solve, you only have 2 clues to work with, pretty much. You have this thermometer and this V clue, and part of a cage, but that's kind of worthless right now. So let's focus on the the thermometer. So typically in a thermometer like this, the answer would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. It's the only thing possible to fill out this thermometer. However, with eraser cells, potentially this could be 0. So you actually have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 as a possibility. So let's first look at if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the typical thermometer. Will this work? Well, if you look at this, now you have to figure out what goes in this V clue. Well, 2-3 is ruled out because the 3 is here. 1-4 is ruled out because the 4 is here. So you might think, well, I have the eraser cell, so I can put a 0 for an eraser and maybe the 5. Well, this 5 rules that out. So this doesn't work. So therefore, this is an eraser cell. So it's the first eraser cell you found. And now we have to at least push this up some because 3, 4, 5 didn't work. So I should bring it down some. So 1, 2. Now if this is 4 and 5, if this is 1 and 2, does this work? Well, 2 still breaks out 2, 3, and 4 still rules out 1, 4, and 5 rules out 5, 0. So it can't be 0, 1, 2, 4. So let's try 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Now this could be 1, 4 with a 5, which works. Or potentially could be 0, 5 with a 4. So that is actually the answer, but you don't know that this is a 4 or 5. But you do know this is 0, 1, 4, 2, 3, 5 potentially. Don't know exactly which one yet. You know it's not 2, 3 because of 2 and 3. However, you do know this is 1, 2, 3. And that's the first step of the solve. And now we reveal more clues. Look at this cage. Let's actually take green and mark cells that cannot be erasers, because erasers, there can only be one eraser in every row, column, and box. So these green cells can't be erasers. You also know that these are erasers also, because these have the value of at least 5 through 8 here. So the eraser cells must be up here, somewhere in here. So let's focus on this 14 cage. What are possibilities? Well, there's 8, 6, and there's 9, 5. That's only 2 changes, only 2 possibilities. So we can actually rule out 8, 6. If this is 8, 6, then this digit must be a 5. This digit must be a 7, because it can't be 6. Now what can this be? Can't be 7, because it has to be greater than 7. It can't be 8. So there's nothing that can fill this out. So this is not 6, 8. This is in fact 5, 9. Let's back up. It's 5, 9. So now we can place 4 here. This can't be 5. This is 6. Now we can just fill out the rest of the thermometer. And now we're done the second phase of the puzzle. Let's fill in some Sudoku here. This is 6, 7, or 8. So the first eraser here is a 6, 7, or 8. The value is 0, of course. Also here, it can't be 1, 4, because 4 is taking that away. So this is a 0, 5. So the eraser is in here with a digit of 5 next to it. So these can't be eraser cells. So the eraser cell is somewhere over here. And now let's place 1 and 2. My Sudoku is in here. Now this has to be 3, 4, 5. Let's place 1, 2, 3 over here. And that's enough Sudoku for now. So we have this 10 here. So this could be 0 with these summing up to 10. Or this could be 5 with these summing up to 5. Now you might think, that's impossible, but remember there could be an eraser cell in here, so it could be 5 with this 0 and another 2 digits summing to 5. So we can't rule that out. But let's focus on this green whisper line here. This green whisper line extends into the fog like that. However, these two digits must be 5 apart. Well, if this is 3, there's no possible solution for this because 4 is too close, 5 is too close, and if this is an eraser cell, 3 is too close. So a 3 plus an eraser doesn't work. Similarly, 4 plus an eraser still doesn't work. So the actual only solution is to have a 5 in here with an erasure cell. So it'd be 5, 0. So 5 must be in here. Rules out 5 here. Plus the eraser. So this is not the eraser. It's a normal cell. So now you have 5, 0. We don't know what digit the eraser would be, either 3 or 4. But 5, 0 here. So here's an interesting point. For simplicity, let's say that this is the 5 and this is the eraser. Now what do I put here? If this is 5, this can't be 10. So this must be the eraser in that case. So it'd be eraser, eraser, with a 5 here. In the other case, if this is a 5, then it's the opposite. This is 5, this is eraser, and this will have to be eraser to be 5 away from there. So in both cases, one of these two must be the eraser. So none of these are erasers. This is an eraser. This is a normal cell here, because one of these must be the eraser. And now, where does the eraser go in column 4? It must be down here. And remember, the eraser has a value 0, right? And you can't repeat values in the cages by the rule. Digits can repeat, but values can't. So the value 0 cannot repeat in here. So if there's eraser here, this must not be the eraser. So this is not the eraser. This one is the eraser. And the eraser is 0. This digit is 5. So now we reveal more of the puzzle and clear some fog. Let's do some cleanup. This is not an eraser. These are not erasers. These are not erasers. So now we reveal a full green here. These must be separated by 5, but they also must sum to 5. So therefore, only way to do that, to have them separated by 5 and sum to 5, they must be 5, 0, meaning 5 plus an eraser. So there's 2 5s here and 2 5s here. They're either catty corner each other. You don't know which way they go yet. 5 or 5, 5, and the 0 eraser's there. So where does the 5 go in this column? It can't be down here because it's here. So 5 must be here. So now we know 5 lives down here. So let's clean up. That can't be a 5. Now remember, 5s cannot, the digit 5 can repeat in the cage, but the value can't. And if this is a normal 5, you have a repeat of a 5. So this one can't be the 5. So this is the actual 5. Refilling more clues. And you know that that is the actual eraser cell. So these digits sum to 5, 5 plus 5, so it's either 2, 3, or 1, 4. And then you have a quad in this column, so this has to be the high digits, 7, 8, 9. And you look at the new 8 revealed, this has to be 7, because 8 or 9 would overshoot 8. So that's the 7. Plus a 1 to get to 8, plus a 0 to stay at 8. So this is the eraser cell. there. And remember, the other cells along the catty corner to this is the 5s. This is the eraser cell. So this is a 3 or 4. And it's red. This 1 looks up to here for the 2, 1, which fixes this because it can't be 1, 4 anymore because of that 1. So it's 2, 3. Looks back up, make this a 4 and a 3. Now, a slightly tricky part is, where does the 3 go in box 5? It's either 1 over here. However, it can't go here because that would be a duplicate eraser digit. And we already have a 3, so that can't be a 3. So this is the 3. 3. And if you look closely, it revealed this little 6 gauge here. Most likely it's just these 3 cells. These 3 cells have to, these 3 cells or more, sum to 6. I don't think it can't possibly be more than that, but they sum to 6. But what is this digit? It can't be 1, 2, 3. So it must be 4 or 5. It can't be 6 because there's at least one more value added to it. So therefore these can't have the digit 3. Now you think maybe it could have the digit 3 because it could be the eraser cell, but we already used 3 in an eraser cell. So these can't be the value 3. So that gives you a 3 in the corner, which is not an eraser cell. And you know that one of these 2 is an eraser cell. Plus 4 or 5. So now look at this cell and try to figure out what possible values it could have. And it could either be 4 or 5. If this is the eraser cell, this is a 5. Otherwise, it has to be a 4 with a value of 1. And this is a 6, 7, 8, 9. The remaining thing is Sudoku. And not a 9. This is 6, 7, 8, 8 or 9. And now let's focus on the permutations of this 1, 2. So let's first imagine this is a 1. If this is a 1, then this digit would have to be a 4. No, I'm sorry. Imagine this is the eraser cell, making it a value of 0. So if this is red, value 0, this would be a 5. This would be a 4 because it's Sudoku. And then this is 0, so this would have to be a value of 2. Because 4 plus 2 is 6. And this would have to be the eraser with 1 digit. So let's do the other case. Remember, this is, let's mark this down here. This is a 2, 1 with a 4, 5 below it. We do the other case. Remember, the case before was this eraser. Let's assume this is the eraser. If this is eraser, then again, this has to sum to 5. Well, 2 plus 4 does not work. So that must be 1. And that, so, and this would be 2. This will also be 1 plus 4 and 5. So in this case, you still have 1, 2 on top in the same order. The bottom is different, so you don't know the order of this, but you knew that no matter what you do, this one must be a 1, and this one must be a 2, and that cleared more fog. However, you still don't know which one is which. You don't know which one is the eraser yet. Both cases work. You also don't know the 4, 5. So that revealed this German whisper here. And if you look closely, do some Sudoku, you see the 3s are pinching pinning in the 3's here. And since this 3 has to have an 8 or 9 next to it, let's say the 3 is here, 8 or 9 must be there. The 3 is here, 8 or 9 must be here. The 3 is here, 8 or 9 must be, 8 and 9 must be here. The 3 is here, 8 or 9 must be there. So no matter wherever the 3 is, 8 or 9 must be next to it up top. So this is in fact 3, 8, 9. It's only a possibility for these two cells here because of the 3 somewhere along this green whisper. In fact, because of the 3, 8, 9 pair, you know it's actually up here. So now I have 3, 8, 9. If you look at this color cage, the only thing possible is left over, because you can't use 3, 8, 9. It's the only thing possible to, once you eliminate 3, 8, and 9, the only thing possible left is a 2, 6, 7 to sum up to 15. If you use the 1, you can't get there. 1 plus 6 plus 7 doesn't make it. So you must use a 2, and then the last digit in this row is a 1. I'm sorry, that might not be right. Haha, I forgot. There is a 1, 4 here. You're not sure which this is, but this 1 eliminates that. So that is the 4, and this is the 1. So that revealed a little bit more stuff down here. I can use that right now. There's also another point with this cell. Let's use this clue because we already have it. It just revealed itself, so let's use it. So let's do some Sudoku on this cell. It can't be 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't be 5, 6, 7. So this is an 8 or 9. And this is a normal cell that has to be 5 different from that. So that's 1, 2, 3, and it can't be 3 or 2. So this is actually a 1, which didn't do much. However, it did rule out 1 from these erasers. So the 1 must be up here or somewhere down here. These are green. One of these 3 must be a 1. This one or that one is a 1. So let's rule out the ones down here. So at this point you can either focus on where the 1 could possibly go in the erasers, or you can focus on this cell. Let's focus on the 1 first. So the 1 can't be here because it's Sudoku. So this could possibly be this eraser 1. The eraser 1 can't be here, or this could be the eraser 1. So the eraser 1 is one of these 2 cells. However, it in fact can't be here, because if this is the eraser cell, then that will rule out this being the eraser cell, and then you have 2 cells that are 1s with the eraser cell. So in fact, you actually know that this 1 is the eraser cell because the 1 can't be down here. So this is the eraser cell. So making a value 0. So this is a 5, 4, and this is a normal 2 there. So you can rule out more eraser cells. This cell here, and do some Sudoku with it. It can't be 1, 2, it can be 3, 4, 5, 8 or 9. Now, can it be 8 or 9? if it's 8 or 9, we have an 8, 9 pair, and then 8 or 9 can't be here. Now remember, one of these is a 3. That has to go with the 8 or 9 below it in order to work. So that fails. So this cannot be an 8 or 9. It must be 3, 4, 5. Now if you look at the erasers, 3, 4, and 5 are already used in the erasers. So this is, in fact, a normal cell. It is not an eraser. This is the eraser. So the eraser is one of these two and one of these two. Let's do some Sudoku cleanup here. And then look at this cell here. Can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, nope, 8 or 9. However, it can't be 4 or 5 because, again, they're already used in the eraser. So it's a 8 to 9 pair. And now look at box 1. And where does this digit live, box 1? Well, it's not here. It's not 1, 2, 3, or 4. So it's either 8 or 9. And similarly to this logic with the 3, it can't be the 8 because then erasers would share the same cell. So therefore, the only spot this digit can live in box 1 is here. So that must be the 9. And now this can't be 9. This is an 8 by Sudoku. This is 8 by Sudoku. Only place left for 9 is down here. And now we have more green lines here. So these has to be low digits to be 5 away from, I'm sorry, this is incorrect. This is an eraser, so this is 0. So these have to be 5 away from 0, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Can't be 9 because it's Sudoku. That can't be 8. That can't be 5. So this is 5, 6, or 7. This can't be 6 or 7 there. So this is 5. Make it a 3, 4 pair. You have a 6, 7, 8 there. So this is the 2. And now down here, do some Sudoku 9s here. 8, 3 pair. Let's fill this in. This is a 2, 6. This is 2, 6, 9, and a 5. You know the 9 has to live below the 3 here, so this is not 9. In fact, a 5 can't live below an 8 or a 3, so there's no 5 there. So this is actually, well, 5 could live there if it was a eraser, but we are used to 5, so 5 can't live there. So this is the only spot for the 5. No, that's not an eraser, so this is the eraser. So that has a value of 0. You already used 9, so it's not 9. It's either 2 or 6. This one's not 8. So this is 0. So this can't be 3. So this is 8, 3, and this has to be the 9 to be far away from there. 9, this is a 2, 6, but this 2 makes it the 6. And so we use 6 in the eraser, so this is now a 7. We use 6, 10, 7, so this is an 8. 6, 7 looks down like this, making that an 8. 7 looks up there, 6, 7. Let's do some filling in, 2, 4, 7. Do some 4 looks down here, so that's a 7. This is a 1, 6, 8, 9. This is a 1, 4, 7, no 9, no 7, 8. Now, where does the remaining eraser is here, and the remaining eraser is a 2. Which fills in, clears the rest of the fog out. This is not an 8 or 7 or 6, that's the 9. 8 must be over here. 3, 4. What are these? These are 1, 3, and 5. That's not 3 or 5, that's a 1. That's not 5, 3, 5. What are all these? These are 4. No, 4. 9 must be there. 4, 6, 7, 8. That's not 8. Let's see. That's not 8 or 7. This is 9. Oh, sorry, 6, 4. This is the thermometer logic. This has to be smaller than that. 8, 9. 1. 4, 3. Where are we at here? Missing something. 4, 6, 7. Oh, 8 has to be in this row. That's an 8, making this a 7, 6, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 3, 4, and a 1. There's a 1. 3, 4, 6, and another digit, a 2. That's the 2. Oops, that's the 3. That's the 4, and that's the 6. 4, 3. Finishing this off. 7, and the final digit is a, whoops, way to finish it, is a 4. That's my solve, fog eraser. Let me know what you did different in the comments. Thanks for watching.